Hello, Fodder School. I am back for another YouTube hop for Fodder School 3. It's been a lovely year, but also one of my busiest. And so for the first time, I always like to do every single project. And this was the first year that I just couldn't complete every single project, but I did get pretty far into the year. So some of the projects are completely finished, some are not. So I thought I would share all the different things that I came up with over the year. I was so looking forward to Kecia Deveney's project, which I still have yet to finish and really make. But I did have time to do some components of the project, which was making these great little charms. And of course, like working with the shrink eatings was so ridiculously fun and irresistible. So I made so many of those. And I had just done a release with Our Foamies, a little pop-up with a lot of my with stamps from Our Foamies. So I did use a lot of those. And I used some of my older ones too, but they were just so fun to create. And you know, you can't just make one, you have to make like 20 million. So I really did. So I have some from the pop-up that I just did, some from my older pop-up, some from the Calendar Girl collection. The Calendar Girl collection is still available over at the pop-up. That's a collection with KP. But anyway, I just had so much fun making the shrinky dinks, and I even used some of my rubber stamps from Rubber Moon, like these guys, and even the little motif stamps that these sets come with. They make cute little charms. So these are still in my shop. But anyway, I couldn't help play with those. And then I loved making the little tags. And because I'm such a big Kecia fan, I have a lot of Kecia stamps. So I did put quite a few of her little images on the little like tag charms. And then I did do some hand done ones. I was able to acquire some Tisha Moore stamps that somebody was getting rid of. So I definitely used those because they're so fun. Drawings. So I had a lot of fun kind of playing with these two portions of Kecia's project, which was easy for me to do because this is the kind of activity I could sit with my little children and do because they're a handful. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I just didn't get to as much this year. I also did Shay's project. This is her fodder challenge from last year, which I thought I would share. I liked her bulletin board project, and I made it, and it looked gorgeous. And I had it hanging in our hallway in an area where there's a lot of traffic and door slamming. And the bulletin board had fallen off the wall so many times that it just broke and fell apart. So I don't have the bulletin board to share with you. But what I did do is I was able to salvage a little section of the bulletin board, and I have this like little perpetual calendar, and you can slip the artwork in and out. So I slipped some artwork in here, and this was one of the clusters from the bulletin board. And I really enjoyed this project. It was super fun. I kind of like working this way anyway. So it was super easy for me to play around with a lot of the ideas. And I love some of the different things that she got us working on, like using molding paste, which I always forget to play with modeling paste. Molding paste. I have it and I love the texture, but I just never get it out. So it's always good when the lessons get you to kind of get things out that you haven't been using. I also have Jennifer Wilkin Penick's collage papers, and I made a little small accordion book to put the projects on, because I like making books. I'm a bookmaker. So I had a lot of fun playing with that and the collage papers. My favorite part of her lesson was making the crazy papers using leftover paint on magazines. That is another little gem that I'll keep in my bonnet for future use. I just think that was such a great little thing. Oh, I forgot to share. So the Kecia thing, I wanted to say, like, if you have a lot of extras, they're super fun to like put on tags. Like I use a lot of tags and charms on my journal spines, but they're great on so many other projects. So that lesson really went a long way for me personally. And then we have this beautiful binding book, which I'm going to come back to that, because the first one I want to talk about is the collage that we did with Chris Karpiak. And I loved these collages. I have this trilobite ring, and so I use that to stamp in the clay. And again, the clay is something that I went a little crazy with. So I made so many clay charms. I just had so much fun with that. And I used some of Susanne Randers' stamps that she did with our foamies, some of my art foamies, and also some of the Tim Holt stamps that just got released when this project came out were great too. And then I added paint and doodling because I am a doodler, and it was just so fun. So I really kind of went to town with the clay portion, and I even came up with a bonus lesson to make like a cute little kind of mobile. I thought that was fun. So I loved this project, came out great. I have to hang this up. I usually hang things up and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I wanted to show you, so Di Venter's project, like I loved her Fodder School project, so I thought I'd share that again with the little kind of cozy that you could put on a jar to decorate it, or a coffee cup or something. I just had so much fun with that, and I painted some fabric and I did a stamp and some stitching. I loved how that turned out. And I loved the stitching that she had us do. Again, it's something that I actually used to do exclusively years ago, but I haven't been working this way in a long time. So it was nice to go back to the stitching that, you know, I haven't done in ages. And then, you know, just the watercolor journal and having a place to just play with my watercolors was really fun. So I loved doing that. And I love this little journal. Like, I'll treasure it for ages. It just came out so fun. And then Suzanne's project was great, the little keeper. And I had, you know, made some of the cards that we did in the class, and I put them in there. I had a whole bunch of stuff in here, but I ended up using it on so many projects. For this class, I loved these little kind of medallions. I made a ton of these, and I used them in my art, so those went very quickly. And then the Tiffany Sharpe folios, these were super fun, like with the recycled mail art. I just loved the look of these. I made a little mini journal to put in here, because it just seemed like, oh, maybe if I put a little journal in here, that's fancy. I feel like this project was such a great, like, potential gift project for someone who might like stationery or organizing. I just think, oh, that came out so fun. And I have one other project that I'm going to go grab. And that is my project, and I forgot to grab it because I was thinking about everybody else's. But for my class, we made these affirmation cards or oracle cards, however you want to call them. And I like working in decks, so I do that a lot. So this was super fun to create with the class. So I think a lot of what you're seeing here, half of it are the samples for the class, and then the other half are probably the ones that we worked on in class together as I was showing you the samples and then recreating them with the students. But just super, super fun. And then when the class ran, I always, when my classes run, I tend to do one online, like I'll start recreating it during the time it's launched. So I recreated this one for my Instagram while the students were working and sharing on theirs, so I had a different one. And I wanted to kind of show like different colors for this one that were different than the ones that I had done in the class, because you really could make it bright and bold instead of more subtle. So I wanted to kind of play with that idea. So and then, you know, just to share, I still love to make these. So I needed something I could work on quickly recently because, again, it's just been overwhelming. So I was like, oh, if I had a card deck, I could do a card a day. And so I came up with the theme of angels for this one because I don't usually think of angels. So I just thought, oh, this is a perfect theme for a deck. So I did all angels for this one. And it's a smaller deck, so it's a thinner tin. I just recycle all the distress tins. This is for the watercolor pencils that came out. It's a lot thinner than the ones for the mini inks. So if you don't want a huge deck, you can recycle these. If you've gotten the watercolor pencils, which I highly recommend, they work out so great. And then I have one more. I also did the trading card project with Sarah Gardner, but I never had time to go to the post office and get stamps and actually mail out the trading cards. So I still have them. So I was able to work on the cards, but I just never had time. I still don't have stamps, and going to the post office where I live is nightmarish. So I just haven't gotten over there. But anyway, super, super fun. I love the bright colors that she uses. And so I wanted to incorporate the pinks that Sarah likes to use, as does Susanne. So they're kindred sisters in my book with the colors. I love bright pinks. Even though I tend to do a lot of muted colors, I am very attracted to like bright pink. I feel like it's such a joyful color. So those are all the things that I could find in the studio, and I hope you enjoyed this little hop, and I can't wait to see all the other amazing hops from some of the other artists and students.